In today's video, we're going to make a baby jellyfish on the 22 pin Addi Express, but you can also do this on the 22 Sentro knitting machine. Leave a fairly long tail in the middle, and we're going to cast on. You don't need any waste yarn. And I did 40 rounds of that. So now I'm going to cut a fairly long tail. Take this out of the yarn guide, and I'm going to go around once without feeding any yarn through. And now I'm going to pick these stitches off the machine. So stretch the work, and I'm going to cinch both ends. So you have a piece like this. And now I'm going to flip one side into the other. So because I used a variegated yarn, I like this side better than this side, so I'm going to use this as the inside part. So I'm just separating this with my hand so I have some space, and I'm just pushing one side into the other, and it looks like a very tiny little hat. I still have my yarn attached from the long tail, and I'm just going to slide that through the top here so that both tails are hanging outside the top. I'm just going to tighten this hole, and I'm going to tie a knot here with these two tails. And so now we have a little piece that looks like this. Now I'm going to use some fiber fill to fill this. So this is a tiny little thing, so I'm not going to need that much. I actually think that might be enough right there, like that. Now we're going to make the base. So we're going to cast on again with the same yarn, and we're going to make a flat circle. So just cast on, you don't need any waste yarn. And we're going to do 17 rows. There's my 17 rows. I'm going to cut a tail, and I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did before. I'm going to release now the work from the machine. I'm going to go around once. Just be a little careful as you get to the edges here. And now I'm going to pick these stitches off the machine as well. Okay, so there's what we have. So stretch your piece. So we're going to cinch both sides like this. We're doing this exactly the same way as we made the body. So I have my two pinched ends like this, and I like this side better than this side. So I'm just going to take these tails, attach them to my needle, and pull that through all the way to the opposite end, like that. And then when you flatten this out, you end up with a flat circle. So now I'm just going to tighten all this up. It's okay if it looks a little puffy right now. We're going to straighten all that out when we add the tentacles. So there is the flat circle. It's going to fit perfectly on this. We're actually going to stuff this in a little bit, but I'll show you that step in a moment. So don't attach this yet. I want to do the tentacles first, and then we'll put the whole thing together. Now we're going to do the tentacles. So I'm going into the middle of the machine. You can do this on your black pegs if you want, but I just don't want to deal with the tension of the black pegs. So I'm going to cast on with a tail around 6 inches long, and I'm going to cast on 4 pins like that. Put this in yarn guide, and I'm going to do a number of panel knitting rows, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth until this is the length that I like. This is a very easy way to make I-cords because it just naturally curls up and closes up on its own. So this one was 15 rows. I'm going to stop here. I want to have tentacles of different lengths. So this one is going to be 15. So I want to release these stitches from the machine. And then I'm going to pick these off. Pull this and cinch both ends, and then you end up with a piece like this. And then if we look at our base, that's going to hang from the base. So I think I want to make, and then the way to curl it, so stocking that naturally curls, it just curls together and it becomes an I-cord. So I'm just going to take my long tail, I'm just going to go every other stitch up the length of this because I don't want straight tentacles. I want them to be a little wavy looking. I'm just going up every other stitch all the way up to the top. Do this loosely, don't yank yet. And now I'm gonna start pulling on this tail to create a little bit of a curl. So you see how that created some tension and now it's curled? And I'm gonna tie this so that I don't lose that curl. You don't wanna curl too much, but I'm gonna tie that right there like this. And now I have a curled tentacle. Now I'm gonna make a longer one, 25 rows, because I want one or two that are really long and a couple of short ones. So 1, so there's 25 rows. Cut a tail. And again, I'm going to release this from the machine. Pull on this to just lengthen it, tighten this edge as well. I'm just going to work my way back up with the tail of this so that I can create a curl. And then I'm going to just tug on this so that it becomes curly. And then I'm going to tie the two ends. All right, so there's a second tail. So I ended up making 5 tentacles, and now we're going to attach them to our base. Pick the side that you want facing up first, and then I have my needle here. I'm going to take the 2 tails of each tentacle, put this on the needle like that, and then just make sure this is laying as flat as possible, and around the edges, I would say around 3 stitches in. I'm just going to pull those 2 tails through, see, and then it hangs like that, and then I'm just going to tie a knot, and that'll hold this in place. So there's one. Now I'm going to go to the one on the opposite side because I have 5 and I want them to be symmetrical. Okay, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to tie this one. Then we're going to put one over here, the opposite side. So that's what we have so far. And then I'm going to put one in the middle. So now what's nice is we have like a million tails here, but these can all just be tucked inside. So there are our tentacles hanging. Now we're going to put some eyes on the head. So just put them in the middle. So there's one, and you know, try to do them straight. Okay, I think those eyes are good. I like the eyes fairly spaced apart. Okay, and there are our eyes. Now we're going to attach the base. So you have a ton of strings up here, which is fine, but I'm going to trim them because they're very long. And then I'm going to place this piece inside the body, but I want all of these tails tucked inside the middle so that I don't have to weave them in. And so then it'll look like that. So I'm just going to slide this inside. I have my tail from the center of this, which I'm going to weave on my needle. And I just want to kind of work my way over to the side so that I can attach this. Do not pull on this tail tightly because we don't want any tension created. Get everything inside. And we're just going to go around and attach this. So I have my pieces sandwiched together like this. And I'm just going to do like a little running stitch. Okay, so I've gone all the way around. Now I'm just going to slip that through here. I'm going to tie a tiny knot, and then we're just going to pull that tail through out the top and trim it. I'll squish them up, get them into shape, and there it is. It came out so cute. Such a cute little baby. So now with these tails, I'm going to hang on to these tails. I'm just going to cut right there. And I'm just going to tie a knot so that I can hang it up. And there is the jellyfish. I hope you guys liked this video. If you make this jellyfish, let me know. You can follow the same exact instructions and make it a big one on the big machine if you want, but I thought the little one was really cute. If you make this project, let me know. Bye-bye.